Well, I thought I was done for the day, but then I stumbled across this and I just had to do a reaction to it. Yeah, Kern River Blues. This is the very last song that Merle Haggard recorded. This is his swan song, as it were. And I'm not ready for my swan song yet, although that day's certainly coming a lot quicker than I'm comfortable with, actually. But it is what it is, and I just felt like we should record it here on this and do a reaction to it. So this is Merle Ronald Haggard with Kern River Blues. Yeah, before I get into this, I got a little story to tell you. Merle Haggard, his producer was actually my first ex-wife's cousin. And we went out to Hollyweird and were visiting the first wife's cousin while we were out there. And he had a house on Mulholland Drive in Coldwater Canyon. They're on the corner in a little cul-de-sac area. Merle Haggard was somebody that would come and go a lot because, of course, he was producing Merle's music. But he had Frank Zappa was one of his neighbors, and who was the other guy? Anyhow, I don't remember who the other guy was. A famous actor. In any event, of all the neighbors, he said Frank Zappa was the nicest one to live next to. And the other guy was a pain in the ass because he'd come riding through with his three-wheelers. This is back when there were three-wheelers. They'd be tearing up the neighborhood, terrorizing the neighborhood. Brando, that's who it was. Brando was his other neighbor, and he was a pain in the ass neighbor. Whereas Frank Zappa, who's, let's face it, it's always been a little bit out there, was a good neighbor. But in any event, we sat in the cousin's house, and he had this big studio, big screen room, and we listened to him with the final tracks of the final album that he was doing for Merle, and that was before this Kern River Blues. That was some of Merle's earlier stuff. But anyhow, I've always had an affinity for Merle Haggard, and let's go ahead and listen to this if we can, okay? Kern River Blues by Merle Haggard. Classic Merle Haggard style.
Well, I'm leaving town tomorrow. I get my breakfast in the sky.
Sounds a lot like Hokie from Muskogee.
Well, I'm leaving in the early morning. Eat my breakfast in the sky.
Yes, sir.
Be a donut on a paper. Drink my coffee on the fly. 'Cause I'm flying out on a jet plane. Gonna leave this town behind. I'm flying out on a jet plane. Gonna leave this town behind. They done moved the city limit out by the county line. Put my head up to the window, watch the city fade away. Put my head close to the window, watch Oildale fade away. Now the blues back in the 30s, and just like the blues today.
Almost sounds a little Caribbean, kettle drums.
There used to be a river here, running deep and wide. Well, we used to have Kern River, running deep and wide. Then somebody stole the water. Another politician lied. When you close down all the honky tonks, the city died at night. When you close down all the honky tonks, the city died at night. When it hurts somebody's feelings, well, a wrong ain't never right. Norman, play the steel. Well, I'm leaving town forever, kissing old boxcar goodbye. Well, I'm leaving town forever, kissing old boxcar goodbye. I dumped my blues down in the river, but the old Kern River's dry.
Wow. Well, there you go. Classic Merle Haggard, Kern River Blues. Sounds, I mean, it really sounds just, I mean, it's classic, typical Merle Haggard. It's just right up his alley. And it was a bit of his swan song, you know. He's talking about him being gone. And like I said, this was the last thing he recorded. So, whew, spooky. What would you guys think of it? Get in the comment section, give me your thoughts. You know, classic Merle, gotta love his style. Man's had such an interesting career and done so many interesting things. You know, spent some time in prison, like his buddy Johnny Cash. You know, they talk about it. They sing about that. They make songs about it. Yeah, they lived through some tough times. Times no doubt made harder because of their lifestyle. Absolutely. All right. Well, give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe. Ring ding ding the bell so you get notifications. Thanks for listening, my friends. Really do appreciate it. Thank you.